you drink, pour it in your mouth. Don't do this. Don't go.
I don't. Nobody does that.
No, yeah. Everybody in my family does that. Like that.
Sometimes. I used to a lot.
Who goes?
Okay, I'm keeping all that in as the intro. But okay, so right now, this is the first minute of the first installment of the Jabronies podcast, which, to give a rundown on that, is going to be the term Jabronies. I'm putting air quotes. You guys can't see it, but I'm putting air quotes. Jabronies is referring to myself, Tyler, and Dallas, as we all live in this house together, and we just. So that's great.
Yeah, smug face.
Jesse is an honorary member. He doesn't live here, though. He would be, but Jesse was in the Hunting for Snow video, if you remember. He's the guy who wasn't Clay, and he was driving, and yeah, he's in that. And then we have Clay here.
What's up?
Okay, so that's everybody. Basically,
I'm just Clay.
I'm going to be doing this bi-weekly on my channel right now as it start. That's the plan. So it's kind of going to be, usually, or likely it'll just be Tyler, Dallas, and I. But right now we have 2 extra people. And if you haven't listened to podcasts regularly, don't be intimidated by the length of the video. Just understand that it's better. I like to do this sort of thing, listen to the podcast whenever I'm like driving or just chilling out, playing games, and like I just want to listen to something in the background. I find that to be the best use of it. So if you find like a weird thing, like you're intimidated, like I don't want to watch an hour-long video, I don't care to watch this whole thing. That's the best times I think to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Like I have a video going on, you can see gameplay, but honestly, that's just
like just now on the Nashville trip on the way back, we just launched a couple podcasts and time flies.
Yeah, exactly. It's something to just do while chilling out. I don't recommend sitting here and watching the entire video unless you want to, but just keep it out, listen to it. We're basically just gonna talk about whatever.
Is there gonna be Halo gameplay in the background of this?
Yeah, it's gonna be Halo gameplay.
Are you doing any good?
Go talk about some smooth jazz.
I have no idea what's gonna be playing on this is happening, but I will say
there was in the last Chaotix cast.
Yeah, there was. It was nice.
Good.
It was nice.
It was nice.
This is what I was saying. Just a minute ago, we had talked about doing this, and it's something that I had thought about doing for a while, but I think this is a good time to finally do it. Bi-weekly, I'm doing this, okay? I'm going to try to commit to that, but also, like, this is a lot of work, because it's long render times and upload times for an hour-long video. Anyways, moral of the story, we were talking about favorite foods a second ago, and I was like, well, we just talked about how we're going to sit down and make this podcast, and now we're sitting here having a conversation about favorite foods. We need to cut that out and just start it again whenever we sat down, so.
All right, well, first of all, you need to know the distinction. There's 2 types of favorite foods. There's, like, last meal type favorite foods, and then there's go-to favorite foods. So, like, my last meal favorite food is like a good steak dinner. But then
last meal isn't like last meal of your life, to clarify.
Yeah, like
not like what I ate for my last meal.
Yeah, if you make that mistake in your head.
Sometimes you need to say it, okay?
Yeah, sure, okay, cool.
Because if you don't say it out loud, there's going to be a comment going, what do you mean?
Yeah, well, so your last meal, as in, like, you get to choose one more meal.
Right.
Yeah, or your go-to favorite meal. Like, it's not just going to be, like, noon on a Tuesday, what Clay said, it'd be like, yeah, I feel like going to get this huge steak dinner. Like, no, it sounds like, so my go-to favorite meal is, like, probably pizza, like a good pizza.
Yeah, I agree with Jesse.
Can I just take a second real fast? I made that joke about the comments, but even when I take the time to go ahead and answer a question that I know is going to be asked a lot, I still get a comment on it. It pisses me off. We can
you guys.
We can rant about YouTube beef later if I want, or we want. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Like I'm going to hold off on that.
No, I'm pretty sure it's what you want.
Bitch, I said that and I was like, I know they're going to eat shit for it. I know it.
Cole's like, maybe we can do a podcast and I'll just get to rant for an hour.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, on the topic of last meal.
Can you stop? Dude. Like, we're trying to be serious
This fool is literally over here eating a paper towel. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're supposed to be the mature
Is that your
one.
go-to food?
Jesse, you're literally supposed to be the mature one, man. Come on.
That's a good
one. Even on a fucking Tuesday.
If you're the mature one and you're over here eating paper towels, what does that say about the rest of us? That you set the bar. You set the bar, you know that. So, okay.
So, last meal, right? You get anything you want, right?
Yeah, anything. You can literally have anything.
What about for you? Do you involve a West Volturian 12?
Yes. Wait, how many beverages am I allowed?
I mean, I would assume
two.
It's
two?
one.
Okay, yeah, 100%.
Well, what do you mean 2? Like 2 types of the same thing? Like
no, if you want. You get 2 drinks, though.
Oh. Well, mine's a sweet tea and water.
Okay, so there you go. Yeah. I would take a West Volturian 12 and a water. I like having water when I eat, and but the West Volturian 12, for those who don't know, is widely regarded as the best beer in the world, and it's very, very hard to get your hands on. So I would love to try it before I die. Like, if I hadn't been able to try it...
I had my favorite food ready to go, and now I'm sitting here thinking about drinks, because there's a lot of drinks that I really like.
Okay, well, what's about your favorite food? We'll get to that.
Okay, so go-to food, I'm going to have to agree with Jesse on the pizza thing. But my favorite food is my grandma makes some bomb-ass banana pudding.
I've had that banana pudding.
And it's amazing.
So what would you have for an entree, then? Like, if you could, like... So that's a dessert, but...
Yeah, but that's also just a food. Okay, entree...
I guess, like...
Come back to me.
Design your last meal. So, like, for me, it's a good medium rare to rare steak with some really good, I'll say tasteful mashed potatoes, because
Mashed
like
potatoes,
there can
you
be
gotta
bad
have
mashed potatoes. Don't get me wrong. So good mashed potatoes, and then like I don't know, either legitimately steamed broccoli or macaroni and cheese, depending on how.
What do you mean legitimately?
just-
Steamed broccoli is
you-
fucking delicious.
I say legitimately because like it's like, there's either a healthy option like or macaroni and cheese. Like,
Oh, okay. I guess what you're saying. Okay.
No,
Well, I mean,
literally,
dude, this
that
is
is that is my exact favorite meal.
yeah, that's
it's good. Like
Yeah,
no, that's
it's
why
fucking
Outback or like
yes.
Longhorn stuff is so good.
dude. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, like I'm not gonna disagree with you, but also like what you were talking about. Like, you can have whatever you want. This is your last meal. Don't worry about health. That's not a factor. But if you like broccoli that
Okay.
much, then you're great.
Okay, well, I'm sitting here limiting myself to two sides, like we're at Longhorn. So yeah, no, I'll take the steamed broccoli and the macaroni and cheese.
That's perfect.
I literally was like looking at the menu, like, well, I only get two sides.
I didn't bring enough money to buy another one of those. Is it ridiculous how it's like
man.
if you were to buy like a third side, that's like $4?
No, like literally. Like,
I don't want to get
it's
into. We don't
fucking
have to talk about prices at restaurants.
Let's talk about the system, man.
So wait, so wait, so Tyler, what were you saying was your
Build your last meal.
Yeah.
I don't have like a build the last meal yet, but I'm not gonna lie. Thinking about pizza as a go-to food, if it wasn't, my body aside, pizza would be my go-to food.
So for those who don't know, Tyler has a really bad allergy to all dairy food.
It's not lactose intolerance, by the way. And the only reason I specify that there's a difference because I have a friend who is allergic to all dairy products, but it's not the lactose thing. So
Right.
It's just I don't
But
know.
now he is lactose intolerant because
really?
even if his allergy were to wear off, his body's been off lactose for so long.
Oh
he
yeah,
can't go back.
you're right. That's a separate thing. But
And I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't have cheese. So neither one of us eat pizza. Is the point? So yeah,
the better
moral of the
question
story
is,
the moral of the story is like that's not, it can't be an option for either one of us.
yeah. Well, what's your go-to food then? Because pizza's easy.
I'm
man.
thinking. I don't know what my go-to
Is
is.
go-to
But,
food all right? So I have to go off right now. I have to go off of what I can eat now.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, no. I mean, if it's
I know what Tyler's
I'd say
go-to
yes.
food is. It's got to be the Lenny's and Larry's.
that's up there right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty far up there.
That's what it has to be.
I spend too much money on them, and they're difficult to get my hands on.
Dude,
so.
but they're like literally a whole meal. Like
I on my way, like I need more. I need more. I haven't bought any more in a while.
those are they're a vegan protein cookie that are made, and that's why they're good and safe for Tyler to eat.
Like
'cause
even
it's
like
dairy free, but they're honestly super delicious. I eat them all the time too.
exactly. I
They're
mean,
very
I
good.
got one before, and I was like, "Well, shit!"
Yeah,
like
you-
it's
you-
pretty good.
Right,
and,
you hear like vegan cookie, and you're like, "Oh, that sounds gross," but it's not. It's almost incredible. Like the double chocolate, it tastes like a delicious chocolate cookie. You would never know if you didn't tell anybody. They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And they're super good, and they're really hard to finish because they're these big
See,
cookies.
hashtag sponsor us.
It tastes like it's
Please.
somewhere. It tastes like it's somewhere in between a brownie and like cake at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like cakey, but
Yeah.
it's also like really thick, like a
And
brownie.
there's a bunch of different flavors too, in case you don't like chocolate, but they're all really good. Everyone I've tried has been
There's
good.
birthday cake, sugar cookie.
I haven't tried the birthday cake one.
I want to try
Sure,
lemon poppy
sure,
so
yeah.
bad. That's the only one I have.
We're getting
like,
off topic
had a
here.
chance
So
to.
I think
Go
you and I-
to. I'm gonna say Lenny's and Larry's because I
But I
would
think,
eat
like-
those any time of the day.
but that's not a whole meal.
No,
I think the point is
not
like.
more of a
No,
snack.
that's my go-to food.
But I think
That's
you and I
my-
are on the
my
same
go-to
boat
meal.
where like we don't really have a go-to food because like honestly I just eat what I have access to.
baked
because
chicken
like,
and steamed rice.
like if I'm like oh I have turkey breast
Alright,
in the
no,
fridge
no,
or in the
listen.
in the fridge I'm gonna go make a turkey sandwich.
All
That's
right,
what I got.
you're streaming right now. You have to go you have to make a video, but you want to go get food in between, or like either you can interchange this, whatever. It's your normal fucking day. You have like an hour to go get lunch. Where do you go?
If I'm gonna go out,
What do you have? What do you have?
Is this?
Either
Is
get
it-
something
do
for
we
the
have to
go
put
or-
health aside on this one too?
Yeah,
Like,
For the go-to, health has to be considered because it's an everyday meal. But for your
Okay.
last meal,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
so,
Like,
like,
what-
even that considered, I don't go out every day. I probably go out once a week, maybe. Some weeks I go more than once, but it depends.
like today.
Zaxby's is my go-to,
Yeah.
I
So,
would probably say it's also
There you go.
Zaxby's. It'd be
Yeah.
a
which is like this like fried
boneless wing
chicken,
meal.
this fried chicken like Southern style restaurant that we have.
if
right
money
here.
wasn't an issue, Firehouse would be my go-to.
Yeah, if it wasn't, Firehouse is
fucking
delicious.
great.
Mine's definitely
I'm always
bar
down for
burritos.
Firehouse.
I could eat bar burritos for breakfast.
Barbecue's really
Yeah,
good.
my top 3 places to go out to eat are Bar Burritos, Zaxby's, and Firehouse.
I
Like,
agree
those
with
are
that.
my favorites.
I don't like Zaxby's.
If I could go
That's
back,
a damn lie. You
So
know.
I like that one meal. It's okay, but I just
Bullshit, it's okay. You're
I
like, oh, I should get it. Then you got it the next day. You're like, I'm going to get it again.
Well, I got it 2 days in a row and I haven't got it since.
Zaxby's is awesome.
Alright.
Well,
You're wrong.
All right, so final meal. I don't know, man. Honestly, like I don't know, but steak dinner sounds really good. I love steak dinner, but like my favorite food right now, what I always tell people is this like Greek restaurant that's like 40 minutes from here that I absolutely love. So like it's hard for me to say. I get like a Euro plate there. It's really good.
So-
It's delicious. I love it every time I get it.
my last meal is not too hard to put together. Mine would be more like a. I don't know which steak I would want. Which steak?
Oh, filet.
Filet.
Filet,
Probably
yeah.
filet mignon, and get a freaking medium rare. And
If I'm not getting a filet, honestly, I'm getting a ribeye.
if I can get a
Yeah.
really good sweet potato, like I like a really good sweet potato, like on the side. I don't know why they're just so good. So, sweet potato, maybe corn. Some corn.
Like corn on the cob, just kernel corn cut onto a plate, cream corn.
No, just like normal sweet corn.
Okay. I mean,
I
you
love
and like
normal
Trout
sweet corn.
both love the same food apparently.
Well,
but,
can I also add like, okay, I want mashed potatoes, sweet corn, and sweet potato.
like,
Is that too much starch?
Like a
Is that
baked
too, no,
sweet potato? It's your last meal.
It's
That
fucking-
starch don't
yeah.
matter. You could literally eat a bowl of nails and it's fine. But-
You're gonna be fucking dead. Doesn't matter.
So, side question. I feel like there's like a really like great part of like food and just like the culinary side of the world that is untouched by a lot of people because I feel like a lot of people don't like seafood. Like,
seafood.
like
I mean,
no, it's a ton of
seafood's
people that
great.
I know. Like some
Yeah.
cultures,
Salmon.
basically like almost exclusively just seafood. Like Japanese cultures, like all fish. But like, yeah, they're like, I don't know if you people here that are like literally I won't touch it.
I mean, well,
What?
there's something to be said culturally speaking about like what
There is, yeah.
society's built up around
But I mean, like, do
seafood
you-
and such.
You like fish, right?
I mean, I don't get to eat it a lot, but yeah.
But I'm not talking like shrimp and like cod, like fried cod. I mean like you like someone's like this is a grilled salmon fillet for example.
grilled salmon. Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, salmon's
Or like
delicious.
what like
But
what
you don't
could-
like salmon.
No, I'm not.
And you don't like fish like
I don't,
What
I don't
about,
like
like,
fish, but I love
You
shrimp,
like-
lobster,
yeah, so
crab.
like
I love,
shellfish.
yeah, I love shellfish.
And you would eat like
Amazing.
fried fish,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
What
That's
about
what I'm
like a
saying.
good catfish fillet though?
Wait, no, you mean
Southern,
like fried
like-
fish, like fish sticks?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. That's just trash.
I
hate-
love-
No,
I
not like
love
lean
fish
cuisines.
sticks.
Like,
Dude, fish sticks are awesome.
Okay, fish sticks is
Ketchup,
the
hot
only
sauce, you mix it
Yeah,
up.
no,
I love fish
that's
sticks.
that's the only time I can be a kid and like dip it in ketchup. I don't dip anything in ketchup besides fries.
Dude,
and
fish and
sticks.
chips is elite. That's like same concept, not fish sticks exactly. But I'm saying like you have like fried cod. It's amazing.
I mean,
So remember back in the day at CFCA when they'd serve fish sticks, and then they serve what's it called, mozzarella sticks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, one time somebody had gotten fish sticks next to me, and I had mozzarella sticks because you know your boy loves mozzarella sticks. And I reached in and I grabbed a fish stick, thinking it was, and I ate it, and I almost fucking threw up. That shit's trash. I don't understand how you people like fish sticks. It is literally plastic, deep fried. It's awful.
Plastic.
I mean,
You're gonna tell me that's plastic?
It's awful.
It's fish.
It's garbage.
This is, hold on.
Just-
Wait, Dallas,
Dallas, let's talk
what's your
about
favorite
opinions
Hold on,
here
Dallas,
and how
what's-
your opinion is your opinion. So shove it.
You can shove a dick, Tyler. It's
Dude,
garbage.
Dallas got really animated and started screaming earlier in Kroger because of me saying that pizza Pringles aren't that good, and he's like,
Listen. Listen, man.
Wait a minute.
Listen, man.
Dude, no,
you
hold
push
on.
my buttons. No,
Dude,
no.
I
You
didn't push
shut
your
your mouth before you get this wrong, because I know exactly what
Clay's
happened.
my witness. We're about to see if let's see if I got it wrong. I didn't get to tell my side of the story.
He said that pizza Pringles taste nothing like pizza, which I agree with. And then he said it's basically stuff that they just scraped off the floor and put it on chips. That's what he said.
I did
Those
say
were
that.
your
You did say
words. And I said, no, I agree. They don't taste like pizza, but the shit they put on them is delicious, and that's why I like pizza Pringles.
No, that's not what you said. You said those things are fucking delicious, and then like four
Don't
ladies.
try to make yourself
No,
formal.
no. And then-
Like, oh my
No,
god.
that's an important part of the story because like yeah,
The
like,
lady walked by and Dallas goes, "It's just fucking delicious." And the lady goes,
dude, there was like
"This lady fucking shut it."
Dude, there was like four ladies. I mean, I contact with one woman who was like,
Oh,
and I
shit.
kept on walking. Like, it caused a little bit of a scene in that part of Kroger.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
I
fun.
was gone. I was getting hot dog buns, so I was solo.
I firmly believe. While we're on the subject of favorite foods, let's move to chips for a second. I think salt and vinegar chips are elite. Kettle cooked specifically.
I think
Um,
sometimes I really wish I didn't have salt and vinegar chips. Like I would have something else. Like lately, I've been really loving Fritos.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with
Fritos.
having more than one favorite.
Yeah.
Flavor. Like, not favorite. Excuse me. You can like more than one chip. I like more than one chip. I don't always want salt and vinegar, but they are my favorite.
survival pro tip: if you're ever out in the woods, corn chips, like the little Frito corn chips, they hold a flame really well, so you can use those as fire.
There's so much
starter.
oil in them.
Yeah,
There's
no,
so much
that's the
oil
thing.
in those things.
I saw like 4
That's why they're so
episodes of
fatty.
Man vs. Wild, so I'm actually an expert.
Wow.
Okay.
I lied. I saw every episode of Man
Yeah,
vs.
I watched a
Wild.
lot of that
Yeah,
stuff.
and all of yeah, it's pretty great.
So, okay. And Clay's favorite chip is the dill pickle, which
Yep.
is weird.
I-
And you know what?
I like
Here's my gripe about
And I
that.
get shit for pizza Pringles.
Listen. Here's the thing that gets me about that. And I get it. It's a flavoring, but the thing is, to me, in my mind, is like if I want to eat a dill pickle, I'd go eat a dill pickle. I don't want to eat a potato that's supposed to be flavored like a dill pickle. I know it doesn't taste exactly like that, but that's the way my mind works. So where I'm like, why would they flavor a potato like another thing that's one item? It's like flavoring it apple, not flavoring it.
Why
I
don't
don't
you just
know,
go drink
chicken
some,
cordon bleu.
eat some barley and wheat then?
No, that's not the same thing.
No, it's like
No, I'm saying like if it was pizza, like pizza flavor. Example. This is a weird thing. I get it. It's more than one flavor. Okay, it's a lot of flavors into one. So you put that on a potato, and that's what you get. Okay, but this is just one thing. It's a dill pickle.
It's like flavoring it cucumber or flavoring it banana. Like, why would you flavor one thing another thing when you could just go eat the real thing?
Well, here's the thing. I don't like dill pickles, right?
I know, that's what's weird.
Hang on. It's partially because, well, you got to take other factors into account. It's not just the taste, right? It could be the texture or the temperature that it's normally served at. You know, whatever. Like chips.
That's
no, like
fine.
so.
It's a good counter.
So here's the thing. Like, I find myself wanting to agree with Cole, but like, I just don't. I think that chips are like chewing gum. They're the chewing gum of the solid food world, where they literally flavor them like whatever they think to flavor them.
Yeah, no. When it comes to like one thing being flavored like another, there's so many different things. You get a Laffy Taffy taste like banana. I love Laffy Taffy that tastes like banana. I don't care.
But that's a candy. That's a whole different topic.
No, but like,
that's a whole
chips
different
are
thing.
the candy of the food world. Is what I'm saying. It's like
But that's,
they're
no,
the
candy is the candy of the food
No,
world.
what I'm saying, like, not like
No.
candy's not food though. Chips are food. You see what I'm saying?
I just how is
I
no, that's
agree,
like any
I
sense.
agree.
No, I just no. It's semantics.
I see
It's
what
all
you-
semantics.
Okay,
I'm just
I see what you're
like,
saying.
You're not
But
gonna.
I just whatever.
Meaning, if you say what's your favorite like snack food, you wouldn't say Laffy Taffy. You could say potato chips, but you couldn't say Laffy Taffy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just
So we're talking about snack foods.
yeah.
It's a story.
No, I mean it's
Look,
just
moral of the
semantics.
story-
It's a different story.
Look,
It's
here's
just semantics.
all I think is that I just think it's weird. Okay, I find it as a weird concept personally. I understand the inconvenience of eating something that tastes kind of like a pizza that isn't a full pizza. However, when it comes to something like a pickle, which is just easy, just go get a fucking pickle. I've always thought it was weird, and that's what I've always thought as like even being a kid.
Listen to me.
Maybe I'm the minority here, and that's not a popular opinion.
It's like
My two
it's
cents in the situation.
really similar to salt and vinegar. It's just sweeter.
Yeah, no, I mean I'd agree with that taste wise, but salt and vinegar chips are physically the best potato chips.
I
mean,
think
Physically,
I think personally, dill pickle chips are fucking trash.
I don't think they're bad.
And I
I've
love-
not disliked them, but
I
never liked
love
That was
a
a
good
good
dill pickle
politician.
spear. In fact, I have a bunch in the fridge, and I kind of want to go get one now. We've been talking about it, but I'm not gonna. But I like them.
What a good old Clausen.
Those are fucking delicious.
See, on me, the spectrum is like pizza, Pringles, salt, and vinegar way up here at the top. Like they're right next to each other. The salt and vinegar would probably be higher on the list, but I've eaten salt and vinegar chips so much that pizza Pringles are awesome.
That's where I'm at right now, where my why Fritos are so far up there is because I've eaten so much salt and vinegar, and I can't eat many chips.
It's like when I made
There's
the
so
transi-
few chips I can eat.
When I made the
that-
transition between Coke and Pepsi, I used to drink a lot of Coke, and then I started drinking a lot of Pepsi because it was different.
and now you just
Now it's
normal.
just Pepsi, and when I have a Coke, I'm like, this is really good.
That's why I'm like actually like jacking off to Dr Pepper at night. Like, dude,
Dr Pepper is not good.
you're an
Mountain
idiot.
I just
Dew
wanna
is the
throw that
best
out
soda
there.
ever made.
Dr. Pepper's pretty good.
I've been murdering Dr Pepper recently because like,
I've got a 2 liter in my mini
so
fridge right
good.
now.
I like Mr. Pibb more than Dr. Pepper. I think they're really good.
It's thinner
Pe-
and it's
People who say that there's no difference between Mr. Pibb and Dr. Pepper are fucking wrong. That's
No.
a fact.
The thing is
I
though,
didn't say
is
that.
Dr
They're
Pepper
different.
just literally like it always. There's never been like a this is a non-flat Dr Pepper. No, it always tastes flat. It's just sweet water.
All right, listen.
It doesn't
Let's
taste like that to
let's
me
move
at
into.
all.
We should probably transition into something a little different. We've been talking about food for
No,
18
can we
minutes.
talk
Fuck
about how
you,
food,
Jesse!
Can we talk about how certain things like bring back certain like memories? Like when we were talking about salt and vinegar chips, the only thing is that for
Dude,
some reason the only
I
thing
know what
can
you're
think of-
referencing. I
So
love it.
my mom took me like Cole and I to the store one time. And she goes, "You can have one snack food for the weekend because you stay in the whole weekend." So we got this big old bag of salt and vinegar chips, and we sat there in the car ride home and opened the bag from both ends and ate the whole bag on the way home.
We literally were reaching it from both sides. It was some like
Open the
it
bag
was
from
some
both-
like Lady in the Tramp shit. We're like eating the spaghetti.
Yeah, like our hands
and,
touch.
like,
Did your hands touch?
I mean, all the time, dude. I'm just rubbing around.
I mean, I didn't know, like,
Dude,
because
no,
when
listen,
you're eating
listen.
chips, it's not like your hands in there the whole time.
Dude,
When you're
listen.
eating spaghetti, there's a strand. So it's like, were you looking for each other's hands, or was it like a funny kid thing?
Listen, listen,
Or
listen.
like-
Every single
So-
time your hands touch together.
So for those who don't know, also Jesse is my oldest friend. We've been friends since we were 7 years old. I was 7, you were 6. We were both 6. We were both 6.
Yeah,
So it's been 17 years we've been
does-
friends.
it
yeah, pretty much.
We've been friends for the longest time, and we were kids. Like I was at his house on the weekend. We were playing nothing but like Game Boy Color and playing Pokemon. So we had Game Boy in one hand and chips in the other, and sometimes the other person's
And
hand
then
in the other
sometimes
hand.
chips all over the Game Boy because you never wiped your hands off when you were a kid.
So yeah, that was like we were playing when we were like really small. It was a good idea though. Open it from both sides.
No, it was literally next level because then like we didn't have to sit right beside each other.
We sat on either side of the back seat, and like, but think if we would have opened it the normal way, we would have had even more hand
Yeah,
contact. Because
but
going for the top.
The better story was, not the better story, but another part of the story is like, that was for the whole weekend, that one bag.
Oh, we
of
got
Oh
chips.
no! Oh yeah, we.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and my mom literally, and this is the kind of mom, like, because she was pretty cool. She literally turned and went. she's like, "You're not getting any more." I'm like, "It's fine. I had all I wanted. They were right here, and they're gone." She was the kind of mom when she'd buy me a Yoo-hoo or something, I'd literally try to see how fat, like, see if I could drink it before we left the parking lot, and try to convince her to go inside and get me another one. And she'd always slow down and be like, "Nah, you get one." So I wouldn't enjoy it. I would just
He's not. I witnessed him drink. Like
Yeah.
gas station parking lots. We're talking like 20 yards at max, and
Yeah.
he's done with it.
Yoo-hoos are fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah, Yoo-hoos are great.
I love Yoo-hoos.
Yeah.
I went through a phase with those where I was drinking an unhealthy amount of them.
So
Yeah,
good.
I remember when I got to college, like, so first night, we're all grocery shopping, and, like, I don't want to be that person who says, like, oh, when you get older, you learn the value of $1, and, like, I don't want to be like that, but you genuinely don't realize how much groceries cost, because I bought 2 12-packs of Yoo-hoo, and that's what I ended up having to eat for dinner, like, the first couple of weeks, the first couple of days, because I literally just bought all snack food. And, like, you realize that they sell Yoo-hoo by, like, the 12. It's pretty great.
So good.
Okay.
Oh, man.
So besides the, is there another example you have? Of
No,
foods
it's
that
just
you think of?
interesting, man. Like,
No, I mean it's an interesting thing. I was wondering.
It's just like the feeling of going back. It's like a couple weeks ago. When was it that we watched Balto?
oh, yeah,
We decided to watch
3
the
weeks
movie
ago.
Balto, and like that movie was never that like it was a popular movie, but it wasn't like
It
it wasn't Lion King.
It wasn't banger
It wasn't-
favorite
yeah.
kids movie.
Nobody
Yeah,
was
it
like, "This
wasn't
is your
Incredibles.
favorite movie." Soon as that little goose showed up on screen, man, it was a blast. I was just sitting there like, "Oh man, I don't
Yeah.
remember where I was or what I was doing, but
For
I
me-
remember everything."
For me, what it was, the beginning of that movie is real life, and then it transitions to the cartoon, right?
Oh yeah,
When the transition wipe to the cartoon happened,
Yeah.
I was just smacked in the face with a nostalgia attack, and I felt like I was a little kid in this middle of this living room right here with my blue plastic golf set, watching fucking Balto, and like, dude, it hit. I almost cried.
I'm telling you,
sitting
man.
there-
Tears.
I sat there and got teary eyed because I was like, shit, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. For me, it was watching The Iron Giant. I watched it. This was a long time ago, so you're probably not gonna remember this. But it was like Netflix was like a thing all of a sudden, and like we could watch it. And Iron Giant was on Netflix, and we were like trying to be cool adult kids who could drive, and we're like, let's do something, and we're like, let's watch a movie. And we sat down and started watching The Iron Giant, and all of a sudden I'm like 8 again, just like watching this kid run out in the rain and find like this big thing. It's like an emotion thing. You know what I mean? Like you.
Side note, that movie's fantastic.
Yeah, no, The Iron Giant's awesome.
Can I tell a bit of a story real fast?
Yeah, I mean,
Speaking of that exact thing where we'd all drive, let's do something, let's watch a movie. So Jesse, right, oldest friend here, in 4th grade, I went to a private school that was local, and Jesse stayed in the public school system, but we remained friends. So we have like our own sect of like friends from our like separate schools, which is like where Dallas comes in, because I started going to school with Dallas, and then Tyler became friends a lot later. But we all, Dallas, Tyler, and I all went to the same private school, but Jesse still went to the public school system, and so like I would be friends with some of the people from the public school with Jesse, and then yeah, so like we had separate things. But you remember the time we went to Drew's house to watch Inception? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
that was
okay.
the first time I saw the movie.
That pissed me off. Here's why.
Yeah.
This story is me getting pissed off because like Inception is my favorite movie. I love that movie. And when it came out, I was like, this movie's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like just amazing movie, and I wanted to watch it like as much as possible. Obviously, I got invited to go with Jesse and like some of his high school friends who I don't really associate with too often, but like they always thought it was kind of cool, and I liked that they thought I was cool, so I wanted to be cool and whatever. And I'm not like a terribly like super social person, so this was like, okay, cool, this is a good opportunity for me to go to that, and I get to watch Inception. So I get there, and the dude lived not far from me, so I go, and there's like a bunch of people there. There's like 8 people or something, and they put on the movie, and I'll never forget, we're gonna watch a Blu-ray, which I was like, this is the first time I've seen a Blu-ray movie, because that was a big thing, and I was like, oh, this is exciting, sweet. Put on the movie, and nobody would shut the fuck up. In the entire movie, everybody was just having a conversation about what he did and she did at school and all that shit.
Yeah.
It pissed me off. And as soon as the movie ended, I was like, I'm going home. I'm leaving. And then like it was like I want to say it was like spring break or something, because the kid's dad was asleep. He had to get up early for work because the dude worked like he had to get up like 4 a.m. every morning for work or whatever. So it was like a weeknight. And yeah, he was like, so yeah, go out. The garage door's closed, so make sure you push the bottom button and it'll let you out. So I open the door and it's pitch black. I can't see anything, but there's a little light. So sometimes garage door openers have a little light on them, right? And I pushed it, but it wasn't the fucking garage door. It was the doorbell. But I didn't know because I couldn't see anything else. So I was like, I didn't know it was the bottom one. I only see one thing, so I don't know if that's on the top or bottom. And so like I'm with these people that I'm trying to like remain cool with, and he's specifically like,
Make a
hey,
fool of yourself.
yeah, I made an ass of myself, and then I left, and I was already pissed off. It was stupid.
The first time, I'm not going to acknowledge your story. So like,
That's
talk-
it. That's the
no,
only
just
part of
we'll
the
talk
story.
about it. Is like what made me think of it is with that same group of people, and this is another time when you weren't involved, but like they were like, we're going to watch a movie, like, and they had this huge list of movies, and I was a snob and I wanted to watch something that I thought was funny or whatever. And they're like, well, let's pick a movie that nobody's seen before, that everybody's seen before. So we watched because they wanted to talk. We watched The Dark Knight, and I had never seen The Dark Knight, and I literally because I didn't know idea what was going on. My movie awareness was like really low, and like I sit there and watch The Dark Knight and couldn't hear a word anybody was saying, and the TV had the real motion thing going on,
Hate it.
and so my eyes couldn't follow everything. And I literally, the first time I saw Dark Knight, I thought it was terrible. I thought it was like a really genuinely bad
Those
movie.
guys and just ruining Nolan films.
No,
I
yeah,
swear,
right.
that's
No,
what
they
do.
just ruined Dark Knight. It's like I remember like years later when we want to watch the Batman trilogy. It was when we were at a Taco Bell and it was raining and we were all sitting
raining
around.
hard.
Yeah, it was raining hard. And we were at a Taco Bell and I never went to Taco Bell, so it was weird. And I was like, well, let's do something. We have the whole night. Like, let's do something fun and productive. And I brought up the, I was like, well, let's watch all 3 Spider-Man movies. And like Dallas and Cole were both like, a better idea. You want to watch superhero? Let's watch all 3 Batman movies. They're better. And I was like, no, I saw The Dark Knight and it wasn't very good, so I know that they're not very good.
You see Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. So, yeah, no. Well, I ended up rewatching The Dark Knight. Spoiler alert, and it's awesome. So
Yeah, it's amazing. I watched that within the last year, the whole trilogy, and it's an incredible trilogy.
it's great, man. It
Yeah.
really is.
Except for Anne Hathaway, we can just excerpt her from the third one, please.
See?
Third film.
She can be gone.
I even don't mind. So you remember in Iron Man 3 when the Mandarin wasn't the Mandarin,
Yes.
right? So that was kind of like they pulled the the Ra's al Ghul is not the Ra's al Ghul you think it is. They did that in Batman Begins, but also they did that in The Dark Knight Rises. The villain isn't the villain. You
Yeah.
realize that there's a mastermind behind Bane. They did that so tastefully, right? Do you remember? Like, it's a moment that sticks out with me so hard when they're in that scene at the very. I guess spoiler alert for the movie thing, by the way. When they're in that scene at the end, right before Bane dies, and he's like in pain and he's hurting or whatever, and you realize that he's not the big evil bad guy that woman is, and then the camera points back to Bane, and he has such a helpless look on his face. And like all of a sudden, this dude that you've been fearing that literally almost broke Batman in half is like this actual person who is taking orders and is secretly afraid. Like, I don't know, it's just a really powerful moment. But then you have a movie like Iron Man 3 when the Mandarin is this big, cool, awesome guy. He's like, yeah. No, it's just, you can ruin reveals. Like, it's like, you can ruin, like, it takes you out of the storytelling, and I hate it.
Oh, lovely.
Speaking of new movies, let's talk about the new Star Wars.
Hey!
So, I want to preface all my opinions by saying that, so there's obviously 2 huge things that exist in the new Star Wars universe, Rogue One and The Force Awakens, right? My opinion on those movies, without going way too far into it, is that Rogue One was really, really fun to watch. But like if you just wrote all of the plot points down on paper, it's not that great of a story, right? There's some weaknesses and all that. I'm a snob. I'll take that label. But Rogue One was way more entertaining. Force Awakens had a lot of threads that it left hanging that if the next movie pulls them and like reveals this actual grand scheme, can actually be like a really high quality movie because it could set up a lot of things that are really awesome. Just from the teaser trailer for The Last Jedi, I think it's going to be really good, and I think the new trilogy is going to. I'm excited for it. I wasn't excited after seeing The Force Awakens the first time, but after seeing this teaser, I'm excited.
I mean, of course, each movie is different whenever you see the full trilogy because you see the bigger picture. But right now, The Force Awakens wasn't that great to me. I didn't like Rogue One. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to talk for 30 minutes. Is why I didn't think it was a good film. But I think it's the Fast and Furious of Star Wars films, and I didn't like it.
You just said you didn't want to get into it. What the fuck you
I'm going to be brief.
Fair
Being
enough.
brief.
Fair
I
enough.
just
About
think,
the reasons why.
listen, I think it was. You think of the stories and the character, and you go, I don't care.
Shut up.
You know, it doesn't like if you ever watch any of the Fast and Furious films, stunts are absolutely stunning. They're awesome. The visuals are incredible. Like the action is just great. But you actually think about the characters and their motives. You don't give a shit. I couldn't care. I couldn't care less. I don't care. I don't care about if a character dies. I don't care why they're doing what they're doing. I just like seeing all the stunts. It's cool. That's what I feel like Rogue One was. And the thing that bothered me about it wasn't so much that if it were just written off and like if it was like presented that way, to where it's like it's gonna be this new action-packed Star Wars film with all this crazy shit, then I would have been fine with it. But I didn't like it. It was presented to me as like a gritty drama that was more like, oh, tough decisions. People are gonna have to make these big sacrifices. You're gonna care. I wasn't invested. Didn't care. Didn't like it.
Well, I mean, any intelligent Star Wars fan, play the game when watch Rogue One, and at any time a character shows up on screen, ask yourself the question: are they in the 4th movie? If the answer's no, what's going to happen to
They're
them?
all gonna die.
You know what I'm saying? So like, no, but here's the
I don't
thing:
mind
it's
people
like,
dying. I don't mind people dying.
I know you don't mind people
but
dying, but like the movie has to learn. Like the movie has to be aware that the audience is savvy to what's going to happen at the end. So you have to choose what to do with those characters in the time being. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
the thing is the story. Spoilers. A lot of people sacrifice themselves for the greater good. If you want me to feel the loss of that and respect them for the decisions they made, then I would like to see I would like to care about the characters. But
Well,
if I don't care
dwell
about
on
the
that
characters,
emotion for a moment.
yeah.
Too.
Well,
when the bomb goes off, or
I want
to
to feel sad that they're dying, but I didn't give a shit because they didn't set those characters up at all. They're just like, yeah, this is the person you have to care about because they're the main character.
Also, how did they punctuate that emotion? With
Darth Vader cutting people down.
So he literally.
Trash.
The thing is though, and I'll defend them and say that the reason behind all that was because that movie in Star Wars in general is marketed to kids. If you dwell on that many people, like that loss of life, then you can't. So you have to you punctuate the emotion. You punctuate the emotion with Darth Vader to distract people from sadness.
I understand that, but that's fine. That's fine. But the only thing that bothered me was the critics' reviews and everybody talking about it on social media that I saw. But people were just like, it was a great quality film. It was they were acting like it was like a Schindler's List to an extent where it's just like this is not shouldn't be a critically acclaimed film. This movie's not good.
Whoa.
If you want if you go that Fast and Furious was awesome, the stunts were sick, I'll be like, yeah, cool. If you go Fast and Furious was awesome, that was a gripping tale that made me feel emotions that I didn't know it existed, and okay, so this hasn't been said yet, but all of us here, or I wouldn't say all of us, mainly Jesse and I, like to read into movies way more than we should, and we care a lot about the art of storytelling and cinema and everything. I wouldn't say you're not on this.
I'm on the trivia side of things.
No, you like it. I'm saying, but we don't care anywhere near as much.
Well, I don't read it after every single goddamn movie I watch. With a bunch of virgins, but yeah.
Listen, I'm saying you don't get it. You're not you don't get as pent up about it. You're not as passionate. I would say. I'm using the word passionate you don't care, but I'm saying
I don't care.
I will actually get angry if a movie is yeah.
No, so I want to just go ahead and throw this hat in the ring.
I'm the worst person to watch a movie with.
Cole will take it personally offensive if a movie is bad. He thinks that the director was like, Cole hates all of these things. Yeah, put them all in one movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm an asshole about it. I'm the worst person to watch movies with because if somebody's like, that movie was great, this was fun, I'll be like, this is why this sucks. Here's why. I'll list all these reasons. And that movie, Will Smith movie that came out, what's it called?
Pursuit of Happiness?
No, not Pursuit of Happiness.
Sorry. It was the other one. It was
the Collateral Damage.
Collateral Damage.
Collateral Beauty.
Oh, Collateral Beauty. I literally just threw a war movie out there.
Collateral Beauty was pandering to people who are every once in a while, every 8 years, I like to watch an emotional movie that makes me feel like I get movies that I care about. And then they're gonna say that movie was so good, it made me feel all that. And it's no, that movie's made for. I don't want to say this. I want to piss people off. I want to offend people.
No, so here's the thing. If you I want to go ahead. I just want to because I have a question to ask everybody. But before we move on to that question, I want to say that if you liked Collateral Beauty, love it. Love your movie and go and own it.
If you enjoy something, enjoy it.
Yeah, no, exactly. But don't put it relative to other. It's I've never seen the Godfather movies, but they're all generally regarded as the best two movies of all time, especially told sequentially and a story. So don't watch Collateral Beauty and go Godfather level storytelling. Right. So like the movie, enjoy the movie.
For what it is,
but don't compare it to, factually better stories and better.
Those
movies.
were the vibes I was getting from people reviewing Rogue One, and that's why I got so upset.
The only comment that bothered me about Rogue One was better than Empire or finally Star Wars Glory Return. It's great, love Rogue One, but you can't we can go down a rabbit hole about the original Star Wars trilogy and why they worked, and maybe the context of when they were released is what made them so successful. And if you took the same story and dropped it in a modern movie, it doesn't feel the same. And there's a conversation to be had there. But Empire is one, Empire and New Hope and all that. They were staples in blockbuster history. So you can't just throw a movie flippantly on that level and expect people not to dislike that opinion. Don't call it as good as Empire. It's not. But
and actually, on subject of The Godfather, it's funny because we like I said, we consider ourselves I don't know.
Yeah, we've never seen The Godfather.
We've never seen it, but I low-key don't want to watch it because it's written. It's
I want to
watch it at the same time. It's if people just go, this is the best food you'll ever taste in your life, and they tell you that for years. Yeah. You kind of don't want to eat it because then if it's not as good as it's cried out to be, it's ruined.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I saw Shawshank Redemption so early.
I was about to say, it's lower than Shawshank. And if you hold Shawshank and then somehow you're holding Godfather higher than that, some way in your mind, you're doing that, then you kind of get let down.
It's actually funny.
Still, aren't they top? They're both top 10, right? Or they're both top 5.
The first two, they're 1 through 3 is what they are.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Shawshank, Godfather. It's Shawshank, Godfather 1, or no, Godfather 2, then Godfather 1, or something like that, some order.
Yeah, it's 1 and then 2.
Yeah. Really? Okay, cool. Easy.
So it's actually funny. Jesse and I have always talked about what if we did a podcast where we talked about movies, and that's what we're doing. But okay, so let's so just do Star Wars thoughts.
I genuinely
keep it Star Wars.
So I wanted in my heart of it, and this is something actually I want to ask Clay a question. because this man loves Star Wars, and I didn't know that until I looked at his top 5 list that we have posted on the wall. 3 of his top 5 favorite movies of all time is the original trilogy of Star Wars. So no, but like, so my whole thing with the new Star Wars thing is I'm really sad that Carrie Fisher died, and the reason for that, I mean, obviously somebody died, so yeah, I'm sad. But I mean, like, the reason I'm so sad, just from the sake of like the movie standpoint. So they kill off Han Solo. I'll drop that in there if you didn't know that. They kill off Han Solo. Luke is, and we don't know anything about Luke yet. So you expect that the movie is going to lean on the pillar that is Leia, right? Like they're going to lean on that and say, this is your hearkening back to the old days, and let her carry those emotions through, and then slowly pass it off.
The story wasn't over.
Exactly. No, her story's certainly wasn't over. So, but now it has to be, because she can't. If they do CGI Leia,
fucking sucks.
It's terrible. So now what do? So now it puts all of the emphasis on whatever Luke does, because Mark Hamill is of the original 3. Like, we have Peter Mayhew and Chewbacca, and there's a few others with the guy who acts C-3PO, but of like familiar faces, like we have Mark Hamill, and that's it. And it just places so much importance on Luke's storyline. I'm nervous about it, but I want Luke to be sort of a bad guy. So that's how.
And as far as the trailer goes too, because I know.
Did you see the teaser, the new one, The Last Jedi?
We all watched
we
this
watched
in
it
the
last
living
night.
room over here yesterday.
Okay.
Underwhelming.
Underwhelming?
No.
So can I add a thing though? So do you
ahead.
remember when? Now, I don't want to be that person who confirms something that's fake, but I saw an interview today that was a Mark Hamill and Rey's the actress. They were talking about
Ridley.
they were talking about the teaser, and Mark Hamill they were like, so talk to us about the teaser. You know, well, there is a scene in the teaser when you hear a voice say, "This is the time the Jedi need to come to an end," and you think, like I thought when I watched it, that it was Kylo Ren, but it's Mark Hamill. It's Luke.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I caught that.
I was complete. Well, so Mark Hamill said they're like Mark Hamill, like why is Luke saying the Jedi need to end? And Mark Hamill says, like, so what are teasers? Teasers are something to get you excited for the trailer, which is something to get you excited for the movie. So a teaser is not really supposed to give you any major plot points. And he leans back and he kind of like looks and he's like, but we gave away a plot point there. So saying that that's not a misleading line, that Luke actually thinks the Jedi need to come to an end, like, and that just goes back to Kylo Ren's line in The Force Awakens saying that I want to finish the work you started, referring to Darth Vader. What work is he talking about starting? Like bringing balance to the Force when he tossed Darth Sidious over thing is like maybe Kylo Ren and Luke's new whole meta mission, and like they're working together trying to bring complete balance to the Force, and where there's no Jedi or Sith, it's just balance.
You know what kind of bothers me about that? You think of like Luke is supposed to be the authority of the Jedi right now, which only makes sense. But at the same time,
He's kind of the crappy Jedi.
He was hardly he trained with Yoda for like 3 weeks. That's it. I mean, like,
like he's it.
But I'm saying, like, but you think of the full, like somebody who existed when the Jedi Council was a thing, like back in the original.
Yeah, imagine if
like,
Mace
not the original,
Windu was
but
still
the
alive
prequels.
right now.
Oh yeah, man.
Dude, like that makes sense because he was there and he could say. It's time, he could call that. I would be like, yes, Mace.
Well,
you know what? I trust you. But Luke was like, Luke's sitting there and they're like, this used to be a whole crazy thing, Jedis. And then he's like, go find Yoda. And then he's like, what's up, Yoda? Hits him with a handshake. They hang out for a couple weeks and he leaves. That's it. Otherwise, it was Luke versus Darth Vader.
The way they're gonna get around that is definitely like the like, you know, like at the very end when he can like see him. Like the blue hologram kind of thing.
Their Force is going to talk to him.
Yeah, their Force is definitely... They're going to say that he learned the Force because the Force of, like, you know...
Well, that's
but I'm saying, like, but that's like...
It was like when Obi-Wan was in exile on Tatooine and said he learned from Qui-Gon Jinn, who was his master, but he was through, like, the Force and shit.
So there are people in the comments...
Still learning.
There are people in the comments right now raising their hands and pointing out stuff to us, because I had this done to me the other day, by stuff that's in the Star Wars universe that Disney sort of decanonized but didn't. They're talking about it. Like, you learn a lot through those TV shows and movies and like short and like books and stuff. You learn a lot about what the Force is, and there's this whole other like, so like the Jedi have like a rogue category to them, or like a rogue, like it's compare it to like the Crusades in like the Christian church. I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying like where they're saying they're doing good, but they might not be. You know what I'm saying? So like. That like Mace Windu sort of represented like his like the Jedi's corruption, really. So like Yoda was the penultimate, like Yoda was the good Jedi Force wise. So like there is, so maybe maybe he communes with Yoda, like Luke communes with Yoda afterwards, and that's where he gets his ideas.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Luke's like okay, so Mace Windu played Halos 1 through 3, and Luke's out here playing Halo 5, talking about why Halos 1 through 3 shouldn't be counted as Halos anymore, and then it's like, oh, but he learned about other Halos because he used to watch YouTube videos on the old ones. That's him talking on the Force. It's like you weren't there, so it kind of pisses me off that he's like,
that metaphor
authority.
is fucking perfect.
It's
and I
not
love
perfect,
it.
Dude, it's good.
Because if Yoda literally
It's
is
good.
chilling with him, like
It's an analogy, not a
it's
metaphor.
more of a
You're close.
YouTube video.
Dude, can we
You
talk
feeling
about?
me though?
Let me talk for a second about. I don't want to get into YouTube commenters, but God, dude, listen. The other day, somebody commented on my video where I talked about, I gave a good analogy on what I believe the difference with like the new AR. You heard about the ARs getting removed from competitive?
Look, man, I don't think I've played Halo in like
So
a month.
you didn't hear about it?
No.
So you're aware. So this is beautiful. So Jesse's my
Yes.
example here. Okay. So
First
Are you
reaction.
gonna ask me questions?
yes.
Yeah.
So check this. So check
I
this.
don't know, Jesse.
Listen. So Halos.
I'm gonna be 100% confident. I'm gonna speak like my opinion is fact. Too.
Okay.
I'll
So
go for it.
Halos 2 and 3. Troy's here by the way. Somebody let him in. Let's keep going.
We're getting one in.
Just let them know that we're a podcast. Okay. So Halos 2 and 3 competitively were the most popular. That is not a matter of opinion. Okay. That is fact. Halos 2 and 3 were the most popular, and both of those had your primary start as a BR and nothing else. Okay.
No backup.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So no, so I'm not doing this to be facetious. So if you played a competitive Halo 2 or Halo 3 match, you just BR starts. You had no
No
secondary.
radar.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Pickups on the map were like sniper rockets
Okay.
and carbine
and carbine.
and a sword
Oh,
and then a mauler.
So these little
Yeah.
YY people would literally.
So
like,
hold
pull
on,
their
hold
hair
on, hold on, hold on. So Halo 4 or Halo Reach was a DMR start. Halo 4 was a BR. Halo H2A was a BR. Halo 5 comes out and it's Magnum AR starts.
Okay.
This is the first Halo that's ever been, okay, that had that.
For competitive.
For competitive. We do this for a year and a half, and now they just decided, like just this week, their choice here. Troy can join in. What? You say you can't talk? Just gotta find somewhere to sit.
Okay.
So yeah, Troy, aka Slapsy's here. Yeah, come on, sit over here.
Gee, I'm here.
Okay. So this is the first Halo they've done that, all right?
Okay.
And yeah. So now we've done this for a year and a half, and they've decided to take the ARs out. Now you just spawn with the Magnum. So it's precision weapon based start, just like
classics. Okay.
okay. So my analogy was, it's like once again, I don't know where you're from, but from where I'm from, it's called soccer. So for 10 years, soccer's played with only your feet, and everybody loves it, and that's the rules. And then they decide to let you use your hands for a year and a half, and then they go, it's too easy now. A lot of people that weren't very good before are able to compete with some of the better ones. So we're going to take rid of the hand. We're going to get rid of the hands, and we're going back to feet only. Which of course, the feet are the precision weapons, the hands with ARs, right?
Okay.
And we're going back. And a lot of people are excited, and some people are pissed. That was my analogy.
A lot of people are pissed, more than you would think.
Yeah, a lot of people are pissed off to get rid of the ARs because they're like,
So
I don't want to
so
get into that.
It's tactical,
Listen,
and you
so-
need to know when you need to swap it because
Yeah.
it's tactical. Okay, in real life, you wouldn't use a Magnum
So
to get.
I just want. So I'll preface all
So
of my
no,
opinions.
just literally on the analogy side of things, is that a good analogy?
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I
think
consider
it's
that
perfect.
solid.
This man, one person just comments. Well, a few people comment on the analogy, but one person commented something nice about the video. Commented again, and he goes, "Okay, but that analogy is literal trash." And I said, "How do you mean?" He didn't reply.
How do you figure, sports fan?
What do you mean? You
Top-
only don't like the fact
topical.
they're taking rid of that, but like, what the hell do you? How is that a bad analogy?
I can make a golf example.
I got triggered by him just saying that.
Will that be relevant to more people? You think golf example?
Probably not. Probably
No.
relevant to less
Okay,
people.
well, I'll keep it in-
Soccer's
I'll
the
keep
most
it inside
popular
then.
sport worldwide, so
I don't want to go into that. It's true. It's true.
Oh my God.
You're right and you're just, but there's a good reason for that. Socioeconomic thing. You need a ball. That's it.
I never got it.
No, I'm not. I just.
We're getting off topic.
There's
I just
parallel
have-
in gaming, like League of Legends is the most popular game because it's the most successful.
No, you just. I heard. When you said
because
soccer,
everybody has a PC and it's free to play.
Exactly, it's most successful. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
more
Except,
accessible.
no, but there's like it's game theory, but no, like so. Again, I'll preface all of my competitive like opinions by saying that I'm a gold tier FFA player, so I'm not very good. But like, it's really easy if I run out of Magnum and somebody's one shot to just pull an AR out and just hope. You know what I mean? And that hope 90% of the time is gonna kill somebody.
No, think about it. Without
You just
without,
pissed a lot of people off.
no, but think
And
about
you don't even know it. But
No,
you
but
just-
here's the thing though.
So
No, like,
what? Gold tier players
No.
aren't good? Exactly. Yeah, they're not good.
No,
compared to these guys at the table, like I joke all the time. Like Cole be playing and he'll be on stream, and I always for the memes like, you should 1v1 Day Waddles, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be put. No,
No,
I'm
I'm
not-
not. You're presenting the situation where you made somebody one shot, but you ran out of Magnum, so instead of reloading, you're pulling out your AR.
yeah, it's easy.
No. We're not talking about that. We're talking about straight up taking a gunfight with your AR because it's easier to shoot than the Magnum.
What's the kill time?
They're the same. I think.
Shorter.
I think it's
Easier.
I think it's faster with the Magnum if you hit perfect shots, but you have to shoot full fire to speed and hit the 5.
So like,
which is infinitely harder to do than just AR somebody down.
I would assume that there's probably a golden ratio out there. Like maybe if you keep autos at the start.
No.
So like make their kill times like physically longer.
Oh well, then that's a different story.
And the only reason I say that is because like they're. Like,
if it was like
because the problem is not that they have automatic weapons. The problem is they have automatic weapons that they can be successful with.
The problem is they're too easy.
They're too easy. So like, okay, make their kill time a little longer.
Somebody
make their hitbox smaller.
Somebody made a poll on Twitter that was like, what would you rather see? And this was before the settings came out. This was when all the talk of like what the fuck was going on with the settings. Somebody made a poll that was like, what would you like to see? Would you like to see like faster kill time with the Magnum, slower kill time with or like longer kill time with the fucking AR?
Speed up Magnum kill time. I have to stop playing.
No, it's fine the way it is. It's perfect.
No. And it was fucking.
I can't hang.
Or it was like, it was like no AR. It was like no AR or AR with longer kill time. And fucking, I literally watched 98% of the people who voted. It was like 5,000 people. 98% were like, remove the AR, and then they removed the AR, and everybody's pissed.
Here's the thing. We're just gonna go in and take this time of the podcast talk about this for a second. These new settings changes. I want to say the biggest thing what Dallas is joking about is the biggest complaint that people say. They're like, it's tactical. It's tactical to have the AR because you have to know what situation. And I always bring this up.
In that case, then give everybody 2 forms of grenades.
Let me ask you, Jesse. Your goal to your player. You're the best example I can have. I'm sorry.
That was fucking smart.
Listen. You're a goal to your player. When you have the sniper and Magnum combo, is it not a little bit difficult to go, which should I have out in the situation? Because if you get caught with your dick out with the snipe, you have to hit the no-scope or you're dying.
Yeah.
But it's better to just know when's a good time to have it out and when not.
I mean, I have a theory. If I'm looking down, if I think there's a reasonable chance somebody's gonna come relatively close to me, I have Magnum out.
Okay.
Or if I'm guessing spawns, and I never guess spawns right, but if I'm trying to guess a spawn, it's sniper because it's long range.
Okay.
So it's a range thing.
So if you're cruising around the map for a second, are you gonna have your snipe out or not?
It depends. If I'm trying to play good, then I'll have my Magnum out. But if I'm just like hanging out.
But my point is that there is a clearly punishable this is.
Oh no! Like
when you're playing, I say this when you're playing high level in competitive. There is a skill that is having your sniper out or not having it out, and you learn that over time.
At any level, man, because literally, especially in FFA, you pull sniper on an FFA map, and more than 2 people know you have the sniper, then you can't snipe because you're just going to get run out of there. You know what I'm saying?
But my point is that if you play for a long time, years, I'm saying, and you've been in that situation multiple times, you're going to remember or you're going to figure out when's the best time to have your sniper out, when's not. And this other thing is it's a rookie mistake to see a one shot and you have your snipe out and just shoot him with snipe. No, if you have the chance to use your pistol, use your pistol. It's an easier shot and it saves your ammo.
Well, it's the same thing. You showed me a clip earlier where you were playing, and it registered to me that it was smart. And for y'all, for other people, it might be common sense. But you bodied somebody with a sniper, and instead of just shooting him again with a sniper, you pulled your Magnum out. You weapon swapped. And I was like, I would have just shot him twice with a sniper. That's what I would.
So the constant argument is that if it were as difficult to know the proper when not time to use a snipe with an AR, then I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the thing is, it's not. You have a radar, and when you see someone in the radar, you instantly just point your AR.
The AR is accessible anywhere from mid to close range.
Right.
It's not like the only time you absolutely have to have the Magnum out in competitive play is when it's long range.
And so,
besides that, at medium to close range, you can do damage. You can make something happen.
So the argument is that it's a skill to know when and when not to use the AR, and that is why it's a good part of the skill gap. And I disagree with that, and I always say, I go, it's hard to beat an auto at close range with the Magnum, and then people always say, well, you should have your AR out too. So let's talk about that for a second. It's stupid to have ARs versus ARs because there's random bullet spread, and when a bullet hits you in the head, it does more damage. So you can't control when it's going to hit him in the head, and when it does more damage. So that is called RNG.
Random number generator.
Which is bullshit, which is why you don't want that ever in a competitive title. But apart from that, let me talk about the Magnum versus AR close range. You can't blame me on making a bad play in this situation. Let's say I'm on Coliseum. I'm at the sniper spawn.
Okay.
I'm in the sniper spawn and I'm pushing their flag. Either side, doesn't matter. I push up and I have my Magnum out because I'm shooting at somebody at the flag. A person comes out of their cave who was hiding there, and I didn't know where he was, and he has an AR out. So now I'm in this close range AR versus Magnum fight. I don't have time to switch to my AR and try to get a kill.
Known he was there.
I can't know all the time where everybody is all the time. Some people are going to hide, and they're going to make plays where they're hiding, and they're going to use the AR because it's easy to shoot at close range. And if he had a Magnum,
so I had to do is look at him and hold the trigger.
If he at least harder shots, may not be the hardest in the world, but damn. Yeah, there's a certain range where you're never gonna use your AR. I'm not saying that, but dude,
I'm perfectly willing to step on toes if this is what it takes. But in my opinion, it's if close range is just easier to use the AR.
It is.
Right? So like it's the same thing. That's why I don't like people who just run around with shotguns and shoddy snipes and just run corners.
You used to run around in the shotgun.
Oh yeah, used to. Like I literally
Shoddy's in the title. You just want to use the sniper. Well, I just want to use the shotgun. So listen,
I
if
will
you're
say
one of
that-
those,
I will say
hold on.
that's a
No,
good-
I'm
that's a
going
good
full
argument.
Listen,
Idiot.
listen.
That's a good
No,
argument.
No. If you're
That's a
one of
good
those
argument.
people, if you're one of those to keep, I'm being completely unfiltered. If you want to keep ARs in competitive and you want to just use your shotgun and shotgun stuff, and you're one of those people that goes, it's more tactical or no. Listen, this is what it boils down to. Your shot is not as good as other players. And whether you admit that or not, that is what it boils down to.
You're trash! You're awful!
Listen,
Garbage!
if you
out of here! Uninstall! Later!
Hold on. I had somebody literally say to me, you think because you've played longer and you've worked hard to get your shot better, you deserve to win gunfights against people who aren't as good as you.
Eat it big.
What?
That is what somebody said to me.
Yeah, that's a legit comment. No, the amount of baffling, dumb shit comments that have come through Cole's comments
Somebody
lately
actually
is
also
just...
said, I like having ARs in because it gives me a chance against people like you. And that is like...
That just it explains
That is
everything.
why it's a problem. That is why you shouldn't have it. If you can beat me with an AR, I've been playing for 10 years. I should beat almost everybody. That is not, like, at least who hasn't been playing as long as me. Like,
Can we transition? Because I just thought of a really good way to like segue into like
Yeah.
using this as a metaphor or an analogy to talk about the fundamentals of government.
No.
let's talk about religion. All right, on the count of three, I want to say, everybody say yes, no, if you believe in God, all right?
Hold on. Like, look, man.
no.
Listen, man. I go to church every Sunday, and that question gave me anxiety.
I don't want to talk about it.
No.
So we're way deep in the podcast. If you heard me say that, like, some people actually openly said, like, I need the AR, and I wanted to say it because I'm not as good with the
Which
Magnum.
is fine.
Well, here's the thing.
You're being honest.
Cool.
Here's the thing.
It's also just as competitive. You'll still have it and everything
Yeah,
else.
no. Everybody freaked the fuck out because we talked about this earlier. No, this is bullshit. Everybody freaked the fuck out because they're like, we're taking it out of competitive, right? Competitive is going to be Magnums only, but bad players can't play social because they match against good players, and so the only place they have to go is competitive if they don't want to play Warzone. And it's bullshit because they need their ARs because they're not as good. So it's never ending.
Well, here's the
fucking
thing.
loop.
You're in competitive. You're ranked. If you're ranked properly, which most of the time people are ranked relatively close to where they should be, you're at least hanging somewhat.
No, but the thing is,
you're
because
there.
of AR stars,
No,
I'm not joking, because of AR
People are
stars,
higher up.
No,
people that
the
should
amount
be-
of bronze and silver and gold tier people is going to increase dramatically.
but
because of
I'm
this.
saying, like, the people that should be, like, genuinely should be in Platinum, some of them are in Onyx. And it's because they rely on the AR so much. If, like, you're a half-smart player, but your shot's not that great...
Or SMGs or what the fuck.
Wasn't it Vito who put out the AR statistic thing?
Yeah, but, like,
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if you're a half-good player, like, that knows what they're doing, but they don't have the best shot, you can use your AR and milk your way on up to, like, Onyx.
I want
yeah.
to make it clear too that like and like this is complete sincerity. I ran competitive. I don't know what we were doing, but we ran like even in the invisible ranking system in social. When I play with y'all for like a couple hours, and then I'll get on later the next day, and I don't have like super high quality teammates that I've like that know what they're doing and that I know what they're doing and stuff. Literally, I can't play social after I play with y'all.
It was the 24-hour stream. I fucking remember this. I remember the first like 2 maps we talked about this. It was like a Regret Slayer and like something else. It was a Plaza Slayer, and we talked about this because we beat them. It was like 50 to like 9 and then like 50 to 11. And after that, it was just like Jesse was getting shit on, and it was people that were like sweating really hard.
Like when I'm improperly ranked, I physically like 1 tier up. I can't hang. And like what I think is like when you start playing against teams and like people who know what they're doing, and like you have to start relying on things, because when I know I can't hang, you best believe I'm dodging corners and I'm just throwing grenades all the time. That's all I'm doing, because I can't do anything. If I challenge anybody, I'm gonna get melted. So like I think it comes down to like people like it's a measuring contest. They want to be in a rank that's not theirs, so they have to find a way to like curve the game.
That is what it is.
But,
A
like,
lot of
the
people
thing
are
is, though,
upset because
Halo's-
they know that they're improperly ranked.
Halo's
Deep
way-
down, they know it. They know they
yeah,
shouldn't be ranked.
Halo's way more fun to
Magnums.
me though when like I know that like at any given chance I could be the best or the worst player in the playlist. You know what I mean? But I know that if I've been playing for an hour and every single game I'm the bottom of the barrel, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I'd much rather be properly ranked, like a true proper rank, and like whatever it takes to get there, like. Let's do it. Yeah.
I mean,
So
like,
you gotta keep losing.
I remember the first time I ever played Halo 5. This is only because Troy's here and made me think of it. Like, so I go to Cole's house. This is when you were still at like your way old setup. And you're sitting there. I had never held an Elite controller, whatever kind of controller you had at the time. I'd never played Halo 5. And Cole stays on the mic. Everybody else is still playing. He doesn't have like a cam on. Nobody can see him. And I just take Cole's controller. And like we're playing, I don't know what the map was. We're jumping around, and Troy just fives, like just hands it down to me, and literally I hear him laugh, and he goes, "Cole, what was that? That was awful. Were you playing one-handed?" He said, "Were you playing one-handed?" And he's like, "No, that was Jesse." He goes, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry." And literally though, and like I got a kill, and I five somebody. He goes, "Is you shooting that slow on purpose?" And I'm like, I was trying to aim, man. I'm like, I felt something. I was like, I wanted to go home. I was like, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
I would say this
funny.
though, like for people that like okay, Black Ops 2. This recently backwards compatible. This is why it's on my mind. I absolutely adore that game. I still don't think I think I'm better at that game than any other game. Like I just feel so confident at it. I absolutely.
It doesn't matter what game I play. I'm constantly better at Black Ops 2.
I grinded that game, put so much time in that game. So you guys understand? I switched that from Halo 4 when Halo 4 really died off, and I played it for about a month. The first month, I just got shit on. I got absolutely destroyed. The competitive, I didn't get it. I was getting destroyed. I just couldn't. And you know, I can sit there and I can blame it on all sorts of factors of the game and this and that. All I want, but like, if you want to get good, if you want to get to the point where you're going to be really, really strong player, you have to go through the times when you're getting shit on. It's part of it. Troy's sitting here. 2013. Troy comes up to Dallas and I, who he knows plays a lot of Halo, and he goes, "I want to get good at Halo." I've said this to him before, but I'm completely honest. Troy was awful, and I never thought he would be good. I was like, dude, like
so many times that happened.
We would call out one shots to Troy, and we wouldn't know if he'd kill him or not because it was that bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Might as well tell him he's full shields.
So Troy, testament. I mean, like, how was it? You have to sit through the times when you're awful. You have to get through it.
A lot of
it's
raging.
not fun.
No, we trained Troy by going into custom games and letting him get 3 on us, and then we would start shooting at him. Like, that's how we trained him at first. And then look at him now. Shit. He's fucking good.
I absolutely hate octagoning with y'all because I'll look up and I'm like, dude, I've been doing so good. I'll have 26 kills, and then everybody else is like 80. I'm like, ugh.
So like Black Ops 2, so I got railed the first like month and a half playing it, and like eventually,
at
some point it finally clicked, and then all of a sudden we started getting better and better and better, and then the point where we're just like really, really dominant at the game.
The point where we ended the last season, Team Master 1.
Yeah, for the highest possible rank you can get. So like it's a process, and like the people that like honestly, the AR was a platform, like something to provide for people to cut that corner of like people, the idea people have is that my newcomers aren't going to want to get good at the game because it's just too hard and they don't want to play. It's like
look at H3. Don't even.
H3 is the aiming mechanics wise. Purely the projectile starting weapon and just the absolutely low aim assist amount, the small hitbox of the sniper. That is easily the hardest Halo to shoot with. You can make the argument for CE. That's a different story, but I believe it's Halo 3. Most people consider it to be Halo 3, and that game was the most popular Halo. So. You can't say that a high skill gap is going to be... And like, look at Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike's got not only a big learning curve, but it's very weird to learn how to shoot with mouse keyboard and all that. And of course, once you get to the high levels, the skill gap becomes smaller and smaller. But that's the way things go. If it's a high skill gap, first of all, it keeps you entertained for longer. Because let's say the skill gap is from 1 to 5. It doesn't take that long to get to 5 if the skill gap in comparison is 1 to 100. See, there's a lot more steps to go through. It keeps you interested longer, and it keeps the game... You want there to be a big spectrum. You don't want people... like. And I said this in my video and people got mad at me, but like 343 literally said this themselves. The skill gap with the AR is comparable between a wide variety of ranks, which is not intended. That's what they said. They were like, it's too effective across too many ranks. It's not like...
Just make the kill time.
The difference between a pro AR versus a diamond or a platinum AR... difference between a pro AR and a platinum AR is not that much. And that's why they're like, that's a problem. It should be bigger.
Listen to me. All right, so say there's a guy. I'm gonna give you like a legit scenario here. There's a guy on Plaza. He's crouching at posters, and you know if you're spawning yard, probably a place to go tram, right? You go tram to like break the setup and nest, whatever. You're playing Plaza, and the guy is crouching at posters, right? He's sitting at posters, so you can't see him from LR glass. You got to make a push like soda stairs or something. Instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna grab the SMG in yard, or I'm gonna grab the storm rifle loop, and I'm gonna just fly at him, and I'm gonna get the kill. Instead of that, you got to be like, can I bounce a nade off of this, or can I push him and outshoot him in order to like break the setup and push that?
I mean, with the new settings just came out, right? With the old settings, right? If you find yourself in a situation where you're in a 2v1, you're dying. Both of them are going to have their ARs out, or if one of them has their AR out, you're done. With these new settings I've been playing, if people catch me in a 2v1, there's a good chance I'm taking one of them with me.
Yep.
And that's fantastic. I love that.
And in a beautiful scenario, you can get both.
Yeah, in like I'm a shit on you scenario. Yeah, you can get both. But yeah, because you saw that happen. I'm not going to talk about plays.
Yeah, we've been saying this ever since the new settings came out. We've been saying this ever since the new settings came out. When you lose, you get outplayed. You get shit on.
It's like I got shit on twice today. Saw both of them.
Yes, it's because I lost.
You missed.
It's because I legitimately didn't shoot well.
Yeah, and he's like, I got shit in here. I missed shots, and that's why I lost. Not because if you were using the AR,
and I wasn't mad. I was like, I got fucked. There's, like I got outplayed. No, when I lose an AR, I'm like, what the fuck, man? You suck.
Yeah. No, that's how I used to spend all of my time solo queuing. Anytime I solo queued, I would just get AR'd out and just like team AR, and I'd be pissed off. Now
because I know you're garbage, and I know I should be better, but I'm still losing.
Yeah, like now if I play it and I get shot by 2 people, I'm like,
damn.
I wasn't aware. I got shot by 2 people. It's fine. If I lose a gun battle, I fucking lost a gun battle. That's what happened. I need to get better in that scenario.
It's honestly, it's literally a beautiful thing when you can just sit there and go, I need to shoot better.
Yep.
Because it inspires you to shoot better.
Yeah.
And you go, I need to work better, work harder to shoot better.
My mentality has changed so much over the past, I would say just past 2 days because that's when the playlist has been out, but like ever since we started playing the new settings, I've been like, instead of I'm going to avoid arena and play social and Warzone shit because that's the most fun right now. I'm going to avoid that because it's fucking cancer to search in arena. But instead I'm like solo queuing the HCS playlist because I want to get fucking better.
Yeah. You know, this is also a funny thing, but like, instead of shooting better, just get more tactical. Here's
the thing.
Sometimes you gotta get tactical.
I don't need to shoot better in this game. I need to get more tactical. It's called tactics.
So dumb.
I used to be constantly pissed off at opponents for playing cheesy and bullshitty. Now I'm just mad at my teammates all the time for being dumbasses. Like, that's where we've shifted. I can only be mad at my teammates. I can no longer be mad at ARs and splinter nades all the fucking time.
Brute plasma
Here's
rifles.
the
Brute plasma rifles.
You guys were talking about radar.
Plasma.
You guys want you Clay and Tyler said they're not sure which radar like better. You want to know which radar is better? Go back and play Team Arena or Skirmish now.
Oh yeah, no.
New radar is amazing.
We were practicing the other night when they took the playlist off there, and we were playing Arena, and I wanted to.
Here's the
I
thing.
wanted to jump out
get
the
rid of
window.
Arena and give me the Magnum only. That's what I want to try.
Think about
That's
this.
all I said.
No, but think of this. When you have old radar, you can stand blue cat staring towards the middle of on Eden. We're talking. So your top blue cat, and you can watch towards red nest and blue outside. You can see that on your screen and on your radar. You can watch behind you at blue alley. You can watch in front of you front blue. You can see part of inside blue. And you don't have to look there. Now with this new radar, that's not an option. There's so much like information you get for free. If you're car 2, you can't go. If you're car 2 with the radar, I can't be car 1 and trying to make a play on you. I have to crouch there. It's gonna take forever. But now with new radar,
and just leaving, leaving as well. That's the biggest one to me. Is like if I'm in an area where there's let's say Eli on Truth, right? People will just always hide up in the Eli. If I get naded at an Eli, I just run to the front of their base. They don't fucking know. If the radar was there, I'd get my ass chased and I'm an easy clean.
There's a lot of like heads up plays where you can be like,
there's room there now.
Yeah, and like that play earlier, this is super situational, but just a quick thing. Like when I hopped on that flag earlier, which didn't work, but I wouldn't have done that with the old radar because.
You talking about the Collie game?
Yeah, I was directly beneath people and I was going for a re on Coliseum. They were up on their VR and then the flag was down beneath their VR, so I just hopped on the re because they didn't know I was there, but they would have known I was there with the old radar.
Yeah.
Because they would have been able to look beneath
line of sight communication becomes more.
That gives more room for plays to be made,
and it gives more room for teams, groups of 4, to have a bigger skill gap against other groups. of 4.
Communication becomes more important now.
It also makes it harder to call spawns.
Exactly. It's great. It's a really beautiful thing. So like, I think the new settings are absolutely fantastic, and I don't see ARs making a return. I said that in my other video, but I think after I think the one thing we probably all agree, they need to add more base starting spawn ammo.
Yes,
one more clip.
Dude.
Yes,
I run out
so fucking much.
I go to melee. I'm just like, all right.
It's so bad. No,
you start with 3 clips. That's all they give you.
Yeah, me and Cole.
How many shots?
12.
It's 36 total.
So we had this Collie game. We had this Collie game today where we came back from like an 0-2 deficit and it was really high. And at the end,
call out.
Yeah, no, the fucking at the end of it, or in the middle of it, whatever. Cole runs out of ammo with his Magnum. And it's in the middle of this clutch situation. Everybody's yelling, and we're trying to get like the re on the flag or whatever the fuck was going on at the time. And there's a guy top rockets, and I think rockets were coming up. And Cole is sitting at the silver, and he's like, I have no ammo, I have to go punch him. And
literally said,
he's like, man, I gotta go punch him. And so he jumps up the fucking silver, and he's like trying to punch this guy because he's got no ammo in his bag.
We were playing a Plaza Slayer game, and we were down by like 10. And at the very end of the game, I was bottom mid on Plaza, and I ran out of complete ammo. And where the storm rifle spawn, there's a silenced AR.
Yeah.
I grabbed the silenced AR, and I had a bolt shot, and it was 49-49. And I was like, guys, y'all gotta get the kill. I can't do it. Like, it's not happening.
I ain't got no bullets, man.
What is the despawn of Magnums anyway?
5 seconds.
It's 5 seconds. Like that is
So there's no
unacceptable.
ammo pickup.
They
then.
need more
Basically.
ammo.
And
There's
they
like
took
no
out,
ammo
the thing is,
pickup.
they took out so many weapons on the map because there were autos and shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I'll just go grab this gun. But it's not there anymore.
All right, now listen.
And the rifles are 40-second spawn.
Let's think about this.
So it's a good thing, but it's hard to find ammo.
Starting ammo in the Magnum, you have 12 bullets in the current magazine, and then you have 2 magazines spare. So that's what, 36 bullets?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you have 36 bullets, right? In the H3BR, you had 72 spare, but that's 3 mags. So how many?
You had 72 triggers.
It's 12 bursts per clip with the VR.
Yeah, which is 3
So,
full kills.
so that's the same
You
amount.
only get 2 kills. No,
You only get
you only get
kills.
2 kills plus a little bit.
Yeah.
In the Magnum.
So it's a faster.
It's
So it's
a
a
faster.
faster.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
faster.
Okay, so it's a fat. So yeah, no, it needs more ammo.
Yeah, it needs
Yeah,
more
it needs
ammo.
one more.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a faster reload though with the
I was
Magnum.
literally trying to-
Magnum
Like,
reload is
we're
almost
past
instant.
the point of upping the Magnum ammo to 15. We're past that point. We can't up the.
I wish they would.
I wish
Well,
they would, but
they
we're
could
past
start
that
us
point.
with the extended Magnum, but that's
That's too
18.
much. That's too
Yeah,
much ammo.
that should like 15 was what it should have been in the first place. But
I agree.
I think we're past that point. I think they're not going to do that, but we do need more ammo regardless.
Yeah, off spawn you need more ammo. Because
Hopefully,
reload time's not a problem.
Halo
It's
6
just-
give us a
real time
rifle
is pretty
that is
slow.
as hard as the
I mean, pretty fast.
Moral of the
Sorry.
story is I think these new settings are going to be a huge hit. I think they're going to be really successful with competitive sense, and I don't see ARs making a return.
Yep, and real quick, shout out to 343 how they handled that. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but they started with the radar because they knew it was going to speed up the gameplay, and they were like, "Well, we're going to slow it down some more whenever we take out the ARs," and they made it like
Dude,
it's
it's
almost
so
perfect.
much slower now. I
They're
love it.
finally doing shit.
Dude,
The
somebody
Reach
tweeted
D7, dude.
Great.
They're paying
Dude,
attention like
listen.
they used to.
Dude, listen though, dude, somebody tweeted this the other day, and I was like, damn, that's a super good point. They said the last 3 Halo titles have had to revert to classic settings for competitive. You'd think they'd catch on by now.
Wow.
They literally went a whole year of new settings before they decided it doesn't work, go back to the old settings, and then they were okay. And
people
like
are-
Reach V7
yeah.
in that case was amazing.
Yeah, and you can understand oh, it's the same thing with like advanced movement. People are like, we need to go back to no sprint, no radar, no
Projectile, primary,
whatever. Yeah, people are like that. You need to, and in some cases you need to evolve, right? You can't just
Well,
release the
you
same
can
shit.
move
Well, there's a
on.
comment to be made about esports in general. Like, they've been playing the same game of baseball for 100 years. But, like,
No,
the
that's true,
competitive
too.
Call of Duty and the competitive esports, like, it changes, like, year to year, like, what the rules are, what the settings are, what the
But-
physical gameplay is. No, like, I'm not
But I
saying
think
that's a critique.
you'd agree
it's
when I
unique.
say that the baseball meta has changed. Did they play baseball the exact same way they
So,
did?
like, but it's so
They change
slow.
rules and shit.
The meta changes so slow. Like,
But it
there's a bunch
happens.
of people right now, and I'm not chasing this rabbit. I'm just saying there's a bunch of people angry right now that the NBA meta is changing to favor more 3-pointers. But, like, this is to prove that point. They're looking at statistics that go 30 years back. My point about esports is, like, you're establishing new trends, and, like, this is something that we've sort of never had to deal with before. And, like, big, not only, like, just from a sheer number of people participating, I'm sort of on the outside of it.
And the thing
to, like,
is,
see how the community adapts.
in
and
my
stuff.
opinion, I don't think it's comparable to something like baseball.
No, it's certainly not. I'm just saying,
Well,
but it's still a sport. It's
No,
still like
yeah,
a
yeah.
competition, and like it's still like when you enter into like a competitive tournament, there's seasons and there's matches and everything like that. So like there's rules and there's like ways you play, and like there's not any other there's very few other competitive arenas on the scale of esports that deal with the physical game you play every year, or every couple of years changes. And like the settings along with those games change, like the way you play. It's like, what if every year, like every couple of years, they change the surface you played on in like hockey, or change the surface you play on in football? It's like the game might still be the same, but you're changing like a fundamental way it's played is different. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough example to make, but like esports is still like it's a high level of competition that's super competitive and makes a super ton of money. I mean, there's like you're there it's so dynamic and like how much changes stuff. It's just really interesting to me.
Yeah, but you got to think like, all right, so like the crowds, so. The comparison or the whole argument about esports being compared to normal sports is like it's bullshit and it's dumb, and like no one should be offended that esports are either are or aren't compared to normal sports, and it's dumb because it's like it's different crowds of people. You got to think the people who watch baseball are watching baseball because it's baseball and it's sometimes it's about like the trades that people make and the rosters that people build and like all this other shit, and the rules haven't changed in 100 years, whatever. But esports, it's like the people that watch it are in comparison like younger and have like far less of like an attention span and all this other stuff. So shit's evolving to like make it so that like it's because it's built for the spectator. Of course, they listen to like competitive player feedback and stuff, but it's built for the spectator. So it's like it's evolving, and of course, it's a new industry, and so it's like they're bringing in different shit because the attention span is so much like smaller of the people that are playing it, and the crowd is different, and it's like and it's kids for the most part that are playing games and shit. So it's like it's like it has to in a way it has to evolve and it has to change because there's it's a different crowd and it's different kind of people that they have to please in order for it to be okay. And so it's like they're evolving and they're trying to change, but it's like some shit doesn't work.
So like I'm gonna respectfully disagree with you and
Okay.
say that I think you totally have to compare esports to quote unquote mainstream sports. And the
Okay.
only reason I say that is because when you build, so like why do people watch football, right? So the average fan watches to know if their team's gonna win, correct? So you watch it for the greater narrative, right? So you watch it to see who's gonna win the Super Bowl or whatever. So like I think the same can be said for esports. Like you're still it's still a competitive sports season where you want to know who wins. It's like when I hear y'all talk about esports, like y'all are talking about players and teams and this team broke down and formed this team and this. So it's like I think that it's almost directly comparable to a quote unquote mainstream sport or whatever. It's just like you said, it's marketed to a different generation of people. So it's the same. It's trying to fit the same formula. With like a whole new set of criteria. So like you're still trying to have seasons and competition and have people into it, but you're also, like you said, you're marketing to a younger generation and also a generation who has you can pick up a controller and play the same Halo 5 that the pros play on TV. I can't pick up a football and play football at the same. It's not the same. Like you can play football, but it's not the same. So like it's.
I was actually going to get into that.
That's
just-
literally what I was about to say.
It's just
Part of
fascinating.
it
to
to
me.
generate revenue because you have to sell games, and that's another thing. So like
Yeah.
Call of Duty, this is the thing that pisses me off about Call of Duty. Call of Duty has 3 developers, 3 big developing studios that work with Activision to make a game every single year. So you have Sledgehammer, you have Treyarch, you have Infinity Ward. But the problem is when you have something like Black Ops 2, which was widely successful as a competitive game, and a lot of people regard it as one of the best competitive titles ever, where the settings were just beautiful.
Yes.
The maps were great. The settings worked.
Console-wise.
Console-wise,
Yeah.
Console-wise is my...
We're all
It's-
console players.
Dude, like console
I just had to-
console shooters, it's a beautiful esport. It was perfect. Like there were very few complaints, and it was just a really good title, and like it just worked. But then the year's up, and now what they have to do, they have to move to the next title. I mean, Infinity Ward made this game, so now you have to play it. And like, I remember when Ghost first came out, a lot of people like hated it because it wasn't Black Ops 2 basically. See, Black Ops 2 was like this like perfect game, and Ghost came out and it had some problems. Ghost overall wasn't that bad of a game, but in comparison, directly like coming off of Black Ops 2,
Yeah,
it was
when
trash.
Ghost
It's
was
always,
out-
it's always relative.
when
but
Ghost
it's
was
all
Side by
relative,
side,
right?
it's
Yeah.
so
So-
difficult.
when Ghost was out, people were like, this game is fucking terrible.
And now people again are like, oh, not that bad.
Oh, it's not that bad because we
Search and
got
Destroy
fucking...
Ghost was absolutely amazing. I loved it.
I have a big picture question. Can I ask a big picture question? I don't mean to interrupt.
Sure.
Okay, so like, what I've always been curious is, you made a really interesting comment, Clay. You said it's still built for the spectator. I've never I've always thought that esports are the mainstream sport that has the ability to cater to the player more than anything else.
There's a good reason for that, because if you think about it, an esport player plays the game how much? Plays the game that they're going to be playing on the field. During like their competition, how much do they play that exact same game? They can play it upwards of 8 hours a day every single day. They could be
You're
training.
meaning
that
how much butt in
Look
chair
at those
time
League
they
of
have
Legends
playing.
players. They play 14
They-
hours a
dude,
day, 3 months
fucking-
straight.
you see a
That's
baseball
like
player-
they go into the same house and they
How much?
they stay.
How much of baseball, pitcher, catcher, batter, and then fielders do they get to play every
That's a good
single day?
point. Okay.
Like an hour, maybe. Like the sport is so much slower.
So-
You don't get that much time in it. You have 8 hours of going in doing the exact same thing you're going to be doing main
Repetition,
stage.
man.
Yeah.
It's repetitive. It's so repetitive. It has to change.
So
There's
like,
no way it can
what's
stay the
so
same.
cool with this, and that sort of brings me to my point, is that like I made the comment that like I can go pick up and play the exact same competitive game that like the pros are playing, right? Obviously, it's not the same skill level and not the same strategy.
That's what
With that
I'm
being
bringing
said, so like mainstream sports are having to deal with like baseball is a really important example because you said like esports is marketed to a shorter attention span. Well, baseball's viewership has dropped so much because of attention spans dropping. So baseball and like golf and like all the mainstream sports, they're having to deal with a generation that doesn't sit at the TV and watch sports. So they're trying to find ways to speed up baseball. So like the only reason I brought that up is to say that I think esports. I don't want to speak poetically, but like esports is the future of the next generation, and like it's the competitive arena is like that's gonna like, grow and become like when people like we got put in the X Games. To me, I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
because that's literally
X Games always pushed what is a sport.
Yeah, literally no,
That
and like
helps.
that's a whole another meta question. But like you're like there's a non-accessibility to like I don't want to say IRL sports, but there's a non-accessibility to like because like I can't just go play. I can go throw the football, but I'm not gonna have pads or anything.
Yeah.
But I can go play Halo. You know
That's
what I'm saying? And like
that's literally what I
that's
was
why I
gonna
think
say.
like I've always wanted to know like why won't competitive like so let's say Halo 5 they get the competitive settings perfect. Why not when Halo 6 releases just comp stays on Halo 5 for a little while? I know the answer. You already said the answer, Cole, and the answer is because it's to sell games. But I mean, like,
Yeah, no, that's why I said that specifically is to sell it to the spectator, because when ESPN broadcasts a baseball game, right?
Mhm.
They're not trying to get the people
To go
that
buy
are watching it to
yeah.
go play baseball, right?
that's a good point.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, good point.
Yeah, but they're trying like when it's on like the reason that like the
So
Twitch
you're saying
like the reason that the Twitch like when they promoted Halo for like a week and they showed all these Halo streamers. The reason why that was big is because they're trying like Halo is trying to get more popular and is trying to get more people to go play it. And like you said, anybody can play Halo. Anybody can go pick up a controller and play Halo
Play
in
like
their
the pros
house.
play.
Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter how young or old they are, or how athletic or non-athletic they are. They can play Halo. And so it's like it's more of a
Accessible.
yes.
And it's even more successful now that Halo's no longer an M-rated title.
Yeah.
And so here's the other
I did
thing
not
is
know
that,
that.
there's a certain
It's teen. Halo
naive.
5's teen.
did not know that.
Yeah, it was controversial because some people were like, Halo's always been mature.
Cole, do you remember that time we
Well,
went
hold
to
on, real quick. I'll just talk about this for
Yeah.
a second. There's like a certain naive nature as a gamer that I'm gonna say that's different from being like an actual athlete. That where gamers always, and I think it's just because it's an amount of ignorance when you start out when you're just like I can be or I am just as good as anybody.
I
And
can make a
beat
golf
anybody.
analogy.
And I think that's funny because I remember I was in the 8th grade. I just got off school, and Jesse here calls me, and I answered my phone, and I was like, "What's up, dude? We love playing Halo 3 at this time." He goes, "Yo, dude, I'm making an MLG team on." He's like, "I'm making an MLG team. You want to be on it?" And I was like, "How are you making an MLG team? What do you mean?" He goes, "I don't know. We're just gonna do it. Do you want to be on my team?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to be on your team." And so like we
Blindsided.
literally, and Dallas is on the team too. Literally no competitive knowledge.
Don't say what I think you're gonna say.
No, don't.
I'm not
say
saying. All I'm saying is like we don't know anything, but all we know is that we wanted to be pros, and because we played the game, we're like, why can't we? And of course, like, and I'm sure any of you who have played Halo over the years have been like, you talk to somebody else and you find out they mutually know Halo, and you're like, I'm better than you. I can beat you. I can beat you. And like that's what, I think that's like the naive nature of gamers, where like they think like I play it and I have my experience with it and I know that I'm better. And like
That's good though.
and you only put it. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like
Yes.
that's why when people they pick up games and they're like I can be just as good. And I think I think some people like the reason why they like the AR meta was so big for so many people is because like that partially made that true. Because in some situations you really weren't going to lose, and
Yeah.
it pandered to that sort of mindset.
I remember this specifically. There was this beautiful moment that I've played Halo since I was 5 years old. Right? I've played Halo, and that's been the main game that I've played since I was 5 years old. I was a competitive player in Call of Duty at some point, whatever. But there was this beautiful moment that I had in Halo 2 Anniversary where I started this team with a bunch of guys, and I was literally like, I play this game. I've been playing this game since I was 5 years old. I'm fucking good at it. I can be a pro if I wanted to. I've watched pro gameplay, whatever. I can be good at it. There's this beautiful moment where we went and we played a PGL ladder fucking game, right? In Halo 2 Anniversary, and we got fucking railed. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, there's more to this.
It's a good feeling.
So
Really?
I've been in that situation.
We lost. We went in PGL and in the doubles ladder. We played best of 3 series. We played the lockdown. It was best of 3, right? So we only played 2 maps because we got fucking shit on. We played the lockdown, and then we played Warlord, which are fucking lockout and warlock, whatever. We played those 2 maps. We lost 25-9 on both maps. We got fucking shit on, and it was by people that weren't that good. It was people that we would spit on now, but we got fucking railed. And in that moment, I wasn't like
demoralizing.
No. Listen to me.
See, there's an option of Halo lift the helmet. Just fucking get
No, listen to me. And because we were talking about learning curve, we were talking about like getting shit on and having to grind and like
It's
Troy's
part of the
situation.
process.
Right? Yeah. Fucking trust the process.
You have to be at the
You
bottom.
have to, yeah.
No, we were talking about this shit. No, in that moment, we lost 25 down. My teammate was like, "Fuck, man, that's such bullshit." Like connection, all this, whatever. In that moment, I was like, it clicked to me as a little fucking 14-year-old. I was like, "That's fucking beautiful."
It's not.
You
it's not
learned that
connection.
there's another level.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
It's like,
because
there's more to this.
You
Yeah.
literally. I'm telling
No,
you,
dude,
I can make a
it's-
golf analogy.
Dude, I love saying this. I love saying this though. But like, this is a beautiful thing. When you're at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up, and that's
Yeah.
a good thing. It's a really good thing.
We played
you
in the
recognize
last.
that there's a bottom.
When I was
You're like, oh, wait a minute.
when I was under Reborn
You
Knights.
know what happened to me when I switched to COD? In Halo, I knew what I was doing to an extent, but I could shoot really well, and I was confident in my gunfights. When I switched to COD, I was like, this game's fucking easy. It's COD.
Yeah.
And I got shit on. I got railed. And then I had to learn how to play as a proper 4v4 teammate. I learned metagame. I learned awareness. I learned so much from COD that then translated back to Halo.
It was like I had another moment exactly a year later.
Yeah.
We were playing Halo 5, right? I was under Reborn at the time. And we played in the Last Chance qualifier for Worlds 2016, we played against Optic in like it was like matchmaking or something. And I remember the Optic team at the time. It was Flamesword, Maniac, Lifestyle, and Chaser. And everybody's like, that team's fucking trash, right? Lifestyle and Chaser were these two like unknowns that had people that had never heard of them or whatever. And we played against them. And I was like, this is, like, we might have a chance here because this is Optic and they're fucking trash, right? And we got fucking shit on. And I was like, I literally had the same experience. I was like, oh my god, there's another level to this. Because they're going to get 16th at the World's Qualifier. And they fucking suck in comparison to the other pros. But we got shit on so bad where I was like, holy shit. Like, there's more to it.
Like, I'm certainly not going to make a golf analogy or anything. It's not that I've been wanting to do that the whole time. But, like, there's, like, a magical feeling when you want to get good at something, right? And you want to be great at something. Or good, whatever. And, like, all of a sudden, for the very first time, you catch a glimpse of what makes somebody who's better than you, what makes them better than you. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, it was that piece of knowledge is what made them able to beat me, right? And when you learn that, oh, I need to get that piece of knowledge, and then it becomes addicting because then you need the next piece of knowledge, and then you but that's like the beginning of when you see that there's like, I don't want to say metagame, but like when you see that there's like strategy and theory and like learning that actually has to take place. Like, I think that's what Clay was talking about, where like it's a beautiful feeling because you, like, before then you didn't see that there was a process. You just thought that you could throw a golf ball down and hit it perfect. See, had to do it. But it's just cool. No, I get it. And like, I think the coolest thing, and this is speaking from the outside looking in, I think the community of esports is going to grow up to where, I don't want to say that it's immature, but like when it comes full circle, like when like next level like metagame becomes known, like when just because you own an Xbox doesn't automatically make you like pro tier. You know what I'm saying? When that becomes like more common knowledge, and like it's like when like the average player peeks behind the curtain and sees what makes somebody who like next level, like what makes somebody really good. I think like it's kind of like I can throw a football really well, or like I think it's really well, but obviously it's nowhere near, like I couldn't go play high school football, and I'm 22. You know what I'm saying? So like there, once you see that there's this whole other level of a whole other skill gap, like I think that I think that's an enlightening thing. You know what I'm saying? And like,
I want to make this one point for everybody though, is that I think I'm like one of the best examples of since the new HCS summer playlist came out, because I think I'm pretty good, right? But I have been stuck from Diamond 3 to Diamond 6 this entire time, and I think I belong there, to be honest with you, just because I have to improve my solo gameplay to be able to get to that rank at Onyx. And I'm not saying that I, quote-unquote, in like, you know, Diamond tier, not trying to offend anybody, but I do think that for, like, there are reasons their champions go solo queue and are still champions. You know what I mean? It's because they have that awareness, and there's always room for improvement.
Always.
That's literally what it comes down to.
And being honest with yourself is how you're going to improve. So that
exactly. Well, though, so like it's also doing something intently. Like there's a whole, like when you like it's that moment when you've been playing terrible, and you realize that you've been leaning back in your seat the whole time, and it's like you've subtly not been focusing. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you lean forward and start doing, like, you start paying more attention, and all of a sudden you start doing things with a little more intention.
I say this all the time, where like sometimes I'll lose games, and I'll be like, I bet if you asked those people what they were doing, they couldn't tell you. And I mean this when I say this. If you did something on purpose, even if it was the bad play, you're better than somebody who just does things randomly. Yeah. Because they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Even if it works, they can't tell you why they're doing what they're doing.
Same thing applies in golf.
Yep.
Example, your team's 3 dead, but you go pull the enemy flag. Why are you pulling that? Can you give me an example? Are you trying to deter them from setting up a spot
I didn't pull the flag. I didn't do it.
Fucking Fathom.
Dude.
We played that shit. No, they got a cap when they were 3 dead.
And it's like...
And Cole was like, I'm gonna go and fight, go fucking ask this guy why he pulled the flag. He's like, I fucking pulled the flag.
I just saw the flag, so I grabbed it.
No. And we were like, we get at least 2 or 3 dead, we're blocking this spawn, and we pull the flag this way, and that guy's like, I'm gonna go fucking pull this, and I'm gonna go that way.
And sometimes that weird random shit works.
Calling,
dude,
and it's
Paul.
dumb.
Yes.
We lost that game 3-0, and I was like, what the fuck?
I hate it. That's why, like, playing against full team versus playing against a team of solo queue is completely different.
It's weird, and people were like, "Oh, I wasn't even on a team. I beat your ass when I was solo queue. It's fucking random and it's dumb."
It's so playing against 4 random people is much oftentimes more difficult than playing against 2
harder than you would think.
So you're saying the highest level strategy is to not have a strategy?
Sometimes.
Okay, cool.
No, like
because
I'm
down.
I was stuck in plat. Like, whenever I was making a video, I was like, all right, well, I'm in plat. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to, run over some people, drop a lot of kills. People are going to love it. I get in there, and then these people aren't playing normal at all. They're like, they have decent shots, and they're playing bottom mid looking up at me. They're just staring straight up. Typically, somebody else would be back in their flag, hunkered down looking at me, and I could take on the gun battle if that's Onyx. And then the rest of the time, I expect them to be just looking at the ground, guns staring at the ground, walking, trying to figure out how to melee. Like, that's all they're doing. But no, these kids are playing really weird, and it's hard to kill somebody when they have no rhyme or reason to anything that they do. How do you predict something when it's just random?
How do I know what you're going to do when you don't even know what you're going to do?
Exactly. How do you do this?
Dude, it's like, I always say this, but it's like, if you're playing against a team and you get 3 dead, you can expect that last person to try to play their life and try to set their teams up for success, whether it be like in that situation, the gameplay that went where I was like, I know we're 3 dead, so I'm staying in the back of my flag to try to slow them down from getting flag out. But think about this. So I'm making a play around my teammates. But if I'm just playing by myself and I'm just randomly playing, so I don't play this way because I'm used to having a team. But like, if I was just some random person and I'm like, okay, let's see. Example: I kill one person for the enemy team. I can now expect that the other team is going to know where I am. So I'm going to make a play around that. But if some people don't think that way, and so some people are like, I got to kill. Now I'm going to go. Wait, I'm just going to keep going straight, and like, I don't know. They'll do things without thinking about like.
You just described how I play.
Their path is linear. They have no reason. If somebody gets in the way, they shoot at it.
Or like
they're
this,
on their way.
Or like this, Tyler. Like if I kill you and your team with Clay, I can expect Clay is going to come after me. Like in doubles, for example, I can expect he knows where I am. He's coming after because he knows I'm weak. But what if I like? And what if Clay isn't communicating with you? What's Clay going to do? Well, now I don't know what he's going to do because he's not going to play off what your information was.
No, I said this on stream earlier today. I was literally like, playing against a full team in scrims is easier than playing against a team of solo queuers in arena. And somebody's like, "What the fuck? That's bullshit."
No, it's not.
And I was like, "Listen to me. No, it's exactly
because
what
you know
said.
what
I'm not
game
going to go
you're
into it
playing.
again." But like,
yeah, you can expect them. What
there's-
information you have as at the time is the information they have, so you know
playing
they're going to
off
play
of
off of that.
You're playing off of what they should know.
And
if they don't know what you think they know, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, and there's a certain level where like you get to an area in like Onyx and Champion where people are going to do like the same shit every single time. Right? Where people are going to like, if you can expect, like if you do this in this scenario, they're going to make this play. And you can expect them to do that. Right? But sometimes...
Fathom, you spawn them all that, they're going to overextend.
Yeah.
Every time.
But sometimes there might be a girl crouching on the elbow. Why not?
And you lollygagged for half a second throwing the flag, and you're like, all right, let me get my thrusters just because, they're OEing. I'm going to need my thrusters. Well, they ran behind you instead of OEing. Now you're dead.
Yeah, that guy's chasing you.
He's chasing you. He didn't OE like a smart person. He ran
play,
behind you.
Instead of being in your flag, they're behind you. And so you're just like,
You
wait,
took a
what?
second. You're sitting there with your Magnum, and if you had just ran it as fast as you could, you would have capped it. But because you took a second to look for them OEing, you're dead.
And that, kids, is what makes Halo stupid. Now, for anybody who doesn't play at a high level or never have or ever been like aware of stuff, you probably didn't understand any of that. But I'm going to call it because we've been going for almost an hour and a half here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we need to call it because
this is really rude to do this, and I apologize. But let Cole know in the comments if you like the movie part. Because if you like the movie part, that means that I will return. I shall be back.
I love you, Jesse.
Anybody that stuck this long through it, I really appreciate it.
I love you. Take your top off. Let me suck your titty.
Right,
Whoa.
something.
Wait, you'd be fine for another year. You're good. No, you can say that.
Right. Bottle cap monkey. If you made it this far, that's the code word. But don't just write just bottle cap monkey. Write some comment and put that in there somewhere.
Bottle Cap Monkey. Also, I agree with you about this.
No, if you can use it in context.
Because what happens when you do that? If you're like, hey, can you put this code word? I want to know if you made it this long.
Be like, my favorite is Bottle Cap Monkey.
No,
People be like, what is that? A
no.
brand of something? I don't understand.
But do that. But some people, like 10 people, comment Bottle Cap Monkey, and then everybody else catches on and like, oh, I get it. It's a code word. So now I can pretend to have sat this long. So you gotta be clever with it.
It's a brand of pins, and you just finished like a really complicated essay. And
you're like, thank God.
Yeah, I need more Bottle Cap Monkey pins. Or good thing, like I had writer's block, but thank God I was
listening to this podcast while writing an essay, and thank God my Bottle Cap Monkey pen. Who the fuck writes essays by hand?
I could drop some hot essay tips. That's really I'm here for golf analogies, movie advice, and hot essay tips.
All right,
Three things
that's
I'm
been
here
Waddles.
And moral support.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you did for sure. Bottle Cap Monkey.
I love you.
Later.
I wanted to talk about my experiences with me uploading Black Ops 2 to my channel.
Well, we can get that in the next one.
We'll do that in the next one.
Get fucked.
I want to hear the story.
Oh, shut up, Blue.
I want to hear about the first time that Troy touched another man. So we'll talk.
Yeah, that'll be good.
We'll tap into that one later.
I'm writing a book
I
on
don't
that.
want to because I know
You left your food over there, though. 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 You left your food over there, though.